everybody, I am Anna Kincaid. I would love to share with you a new project that I recently picked up, and that is bullet journaling. This year, my theme for my bullet journal is flowers in space, and I would love to throw a shout out to Shada Campbell for helping inspire my designs in my bullet journal, and the Life with Novice, because if it wasn't for her, I would have never considered making this video. So today's video is about plan with me for February. So let's jump right into it. For the cutout cover page, I decided to draw basil. The reason I chose basil is because it is the symbol of love in Italy. Since February is the month of love because of Valentine's Day, I wanted to choose an herb that symbolized love. After I'm finished drawing the basil with my 0.3 Copic multiliner, I write one for love and love for all. And I know that's super cheesy, but I love cheesy stuff. So now I'm going to erase my pencil lines and move on to the next part of my design. Now I'm going to take a pair of small scissors and cut off the edge of the page. After I do that, I add a small at-a-glance calendar to the next page. For my at-a-glance calendar, I wanted to do something a little bit different than I did last month. I make it a little more fun. So I took a brown marker and I wrote the word Feb above the calendar and lined one of the sides with a black multiliner to help make it pop out a little bit. And then underneath I wrote 2019. Finally, to finish the calendar, I added a drop shadow with a gray marker. I bust out my Crayola watercolors. They aren't the best of quality, but this is what we have in our house right now. And if I enjoy using them, then I will get myself some better quality watercolors and give these to my kids to use. I start off by adding magenta, purple, and teal to paint the background of the basil. And then I move on to paint the basil. First, I start off with a light green to do the underside of the leaves, a medium tone green to do the top of the leaves, and finally, to add dimension, I take a darker green that I mix up and put that on the underside of the leaves to add like dimension and shadowing to the painting. Okay, after that page is dry, next I move on to the monthly cover page. Each month I am changing the flowers I primarily use that month to be the birth flowers for the month. So for the month of February, the birth flower is violets. I love how the shape of the leaves for violets are heart-shaped, so it is fitting for the month of love. After I'm done drawing the violets, I move on and write February at the top of the page and just plain cursive. And then underneath that, I write my monthly intentions. Every month I like to have a list of my intentions for the month, and that kind of gives me like a solid kind of like goals list for the month, and it's just something that I can look at and then like reaffirm like what my goals are for the month. So again, I get the watercolors out. I paint the background pink, purple, and blue, and a little bit more of a teal blue and a regular blue. Then I move on and paint the flowers violet colored and paint the leaves green, and then I add shadowing to the petals and the leaves. Alright, moving on to the final page, I go back to the brown marker and put the year at the top and use a multiliner to add a line on one side of the numbers to help it pop. Then with a thicker multiliner, I trace my calendar pencil lines. After I'm done drawing all the calendar squares, I write the weekday across the top and draw the video schedule section. In this section, I can write the dates I upload a new video or videos I plan to upload that month. In a nice cursive writing, I write the word February at the top of the page. after all the basic calendar stuff is drawn, I draw the floral part of the calendar. Now it's time to make it pretty by adding watercolors. The design I'm using on this page continues my flowers and space theme for the year. I have a moon with violets around it. It's a simple design. I would love to add a little more detail to it, but I ran out of time working on it. As you can see here, I am painting and drawing at the same time. As for a tip with using watercolor on your Moleskine pages, the first thing is better quality watercolors than what I'm using. Second, making sure you have basically no water in your brush, and then painting from the palette. You don't want to do regular watercolor techniques because the pages in the Moleskine are so thin that it just bleeds right through. I made that mistake earlier in my journal, and I just kind of worked with it, but I really don't like bleed through, and so then I figured out to not use very much water. After I was finished with the page, I realized I had forgot to date the calendar, so I went through and I dated the calendar, and then I got too excited about dating the calendar and I wrote 29 days instead of 28 days, and so then I turned the 29 into a heart. Alright, here's the finished product. Well, I love the way these pages turned out, and I look forward in doing my March pages and sharing them with you guys. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Please comment, like, and subscribe. See ya!